You've had your eye on a chart that I've been had my eye on, and I don't know if it's totally specious or if there's something there, but it seems like when stocks are going up, you'd expect the president's approval rating to follow because, you know, it's the economy. But lately there's been an inverse correlation. Could just be statistical noise, but you think there might be something there.
Yeah, so I was here during the 2016 campaign talking about a really unusual relationship. As American consumers felt worse, Trump's ratings in the polls went up. So you saw this situation where Hillary Clinton's popularity rose and fell almost to the minute with consumer confidence. Trump's, by reverse, was just the offset. And so it's something I've been watching to see, would this sort of reverse correlation continue into his presidency? Because as you said, you know, that's not the norm. Even Richard Nixon's popularity rose and fell with the markets. So what is so striking to me is here you have, you know, Trump approving, you know, getting this tax legislation approved, and his popularity is just continuing to fall, and it actually pivots the week that the legislation is approved. Bitcoin peaks. So at this peak of euphoria, his confidence is at the lowest, and now his confidence is falling. He's rising. Why?
Why would it not have the typical relationship?
I think a lot of it has to do with his personality. And again, analogies that I saw during the campaign suggest that he really resonates with people with low confidence. He was analogized to Berlusconi. He was analogized to Harold Hill from The Music Man. You know, all of these characters come to the fore during low confidence. And there are personality types that really fit that. Authoritarians do, people with enormous empathy, realists. I mean, Nasser Ghami wrote a whole book on the characteristics that you need for people who are leaders in crisis. And Trump really fits that.
So when we see him ranting about trade, putting pressure on China, politically sending out tweets that at times raise eyebrows, and we think this doesn't feel presidential. The less presidential that he appears to be in a traditional sense, the more he resonates and his poll readings rise.
Absolutely. So when confidence is low, it's all about me here now. So xenophobia, issues of immigration, Twitter, it all ties.
So talk to us about how this makes sense, given that the president likes to use the stock market as a gauge for his own success, for his popularity, for his achievements. He's touted it plenty of times in 2017 and 2018.
He has. And so it's been fascinating watching him try to navigate this enormous bifurcation in confidence, to maintain the support of the base and also keep propelling the markets when their objectives have been completely at odds with each other.
So basically, he talks about positive market moves, as Scarlett mentioned, but then when he talks about a trade war or the prospect of a trade war with China or whatever it is, he kind of infuses the market with nervousness and he pushes the market lower in actual fact. But actually, that's supportive of his poll reading. So he kind of has to make a choice here.
I've referred to him as like a soccer player who's running from one end of the field to the other, changing his jersey midstream, because he's got to keep both sides going at once.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about Trump's base, but let's talk about the aggregate for a second, because most surveys of people say people are feeling really good. Yesterday, we were looking at the Bloomberg Consumer Comfort Survey, highest since 2000. How people feel about their finances, highest since 2001. This despite market volatility, despite anxiety about the trade war and everything going on with, you know, the investigations and the tweets and everything like that. What do you make of how good the surveys say people are feeling right now?
So we're starting to see some interesting trends in the survey.
Yeah.
So consumers are saying it feels great now. Things are fabulous. And that would be consistent with the economic data that we've seen in terms of jobless claims and wage growth. So all of that fits. At the same time, Joe, in the fall, we saw expectations peak. And so we've now had the third lower peak in consumer expectations of the future. Confidence is forward-looking. And that's the measure that I really focus on.
And particularly for the wealthiest individuals as well, that clearly can see their stock market and the assets perhaps that they're invested in losing some ground here. There's a difference there too, surely.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, that need to keep both sides satisfied at once.
Peter, I wonder if you've reached out to anyone at the White House or on the president's side to share these findings with them. I wonder what they would say to this, because, like you said, he has to keep both sides at bay, and it's a tough job.
It's exhausting. I mean, it is exhausting for him, and even more, it's becoming exhausting for everyone else.
Yes.
And I think we're reaching a point of narrative fatigue, and I think you see that in this binary reaction to every piece of news. It's good or it's terrible, it's great or it's awful. There's no evolution to the narrative. It's very impulsive. And I think that's a reflection of just growing fatigue on everybody's part.